Oh, there you go. And I would like to introduce Ellen Siegel, who is the president of the Woodstock Wisdom Incorporated. Take it away, Ellen.
Thank you very much, Pam. I'm also an employee of the Clio Institute. You can see from my t-shirt, and that stands for Climate, Leadership, Engagement, Opportunities. And my third act mission in life is to be a catalyst for climate conversations everywhere I go, which happens to be Alachua County. So I commend you for your courage in coming to what looks like a dreadful topic to talk about, because there's not a lot of good stuff out there about climate change. And today's topic, we're going to cover a couple of things, but today's topic is going to give you a little bit of inspiration. So I'm trying a couple of different things today. So they may or may not work. Probably won't work, but you're a friendly audience and we'll go for that. Before I get into the actual, don't even talk about it, social science of climate conversations, I want to cover one very interesting opportunity for Oak Hammock. Several of you have already brought me your plastic bag garbage. These are the plastic bags that you cannot put in the blue bins for recycling. These are the film that come around your bread bag or your frozen vegetables, or wrapped the film, the cellophane around your cucumbers, or the packaging when you buy things from Amazon and they come wrapped together. All of the flimsy, non-crinkly plastics. There is a way to recycle those. And my friend and former ILR student, Sarah Nussel, is passionate about zero waste. I'm passionate about talking about climate and helping you have a conversation. And Sarah is passionate about not putting stuff in our landfills. So I have a little video she made just for Oak Hammock, and it did work before class. So we're going to assume that it will work again. So let me make sure that that is true.
So she bought the box. Her church is across the street, Southwest United Methodist. And if we can get someone here to get whatever permission your bureaucracy requires. Where is Pat? Where's my friend Pat? She dropped her bags and she left. Perhaps this young lady who brought me more garbage might find out who has to give you an okay to bring that box over, and she will bring the box over and she will empty it as you fill it with your recyclable plastic. So not letting you out of class until someone says, okay, I'll figure out where we put the box. And then we'll figure out a campaign so people can drop their plastic in there. And I think maybe word of mouth would do it. Nita, are you going to volunteer? Oh, thank you. Our interior design person. You'll talk to me later about it. Okay, great. Good. Okay. Well, that is great. That is like your climate action for the week. Good job. So, all right. Now, today's topic is don't even talk about climate change. A lot of reasons why not. Show of hands, and also, okay, you folks in the Zoom room, because you outnumber us like 2 to 1. In the Zoom room, I need you to either open your cameras and raise your hand, or figure out reactions and raise your hand. And Barb Rothstein volunteered to help. I'm going to ask how many people did the little survey that went out. We have 2 in the room, 3 in the room. I need to know if we've got more than 3 people. 4, 5, 6. Okay, Barb, not going to work. Okay, thank you for putting your hands up. Go ahead and put your hands down now. I will talk about what we were going to do if I had been a little clearer about this little experiment. So thank you. Thank you all. Okay, now you can dim the lights and we can go on to the program. Thank you. Okay. And I'd like to go back up one slide if we can. That would be for Pam. Yeah, can you go back? No, can you, actually, you're telling me I should be able to do that. There you go. Okay, good. You may be tired of me talking about proving to you how hot it is. Here's yet one more picture of why it's hot out there. So go ahead and give it one click. There you go. Watch the time clock in the middle and note it's going around the year, month by month. It started in 1880, it ended last year. And notice what's happening. The concentric circles in yellow are temperature. And this is called the climate spiral. So you can see that it has gotten hotter. So you don't really need any more proof because I beat that to death with you, but there you go. There it is. So next slide, please. Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay. So let's see if I can do this with the clicker that you gave me. What are we going to do today? We're going to look at some research about talking about it. We're going to look at why we don't talk about it, and particularly what stops you. We're going to look at why are you the best people to talk about it? And we're going to talk about some tools to help you decide, I'm going to do it. How do I do it? And we're going to look at some opportunities for talking about it. This was the experiment that Barb volunteered to help me with. For the last 15 years, the Yale Center for Climate Change Communication has been surveying Americans. And they have determined that pretty consistently there are 6 kinds of views on climate change. So I'm going to describe them to you. I want to make sure I do it correctly. So let me get my notes. And the pre-class quiz was asking you to do this online. You can't do it this way in a class. You have to do it individually, because it'll tell you where you fall. I took a guess where the numbers would be. So actually, Barb, we'll do it with hands raised here. And is there a way for Barb to look at the Zoom room separately? Or for you to? Okay, so let me read and decide where you fit. If you start all the way where it says dismissives, those are people who don't believe the whole gallery. We'll see the whole gallery. Dismissives believe global warming is not happening. It's not caused by humans. It's not a threat. And generally, those folks believe that there's a conspiracy theory that the government is putting laser beams out in space and making the climate change. But it's not really happening. The doubtful think it's not happening, or else they think it's just a natural cycle. They don't think a lot about a warming climate, and they don't consider it a serious risk. So as I read, decide where you fit, okay? The disengaged don't know very much about global warming. They hardly ever hear about it in the media, so they don't think about it. The cautious have not yet made up their minds. They're not sure. They're aware something is happening, but is it global warming? Did humans cause it? Is it serious? Should I think about it? Those are the cautious. The concerned Americans think human-caused global warming is happening, is a serious threat, and they support climate policies. However, they do tend to believe that climate impacts are still distant in time and space. And so climate change remains a lower priority than, say, the economy. Okay? The alarmed are convinced global warming is happening, it's human-caused, it's an urgent threat, and they strongly support climate policies. Most, however, do not know what they or other people can do to solve the problem. So having read that, are you a dismissive? Not happening. Doubtful? Maybe, or it's natural. Disengaged, don't really know much about it. Cautious, not sure, not sure at all. Concerned, it is happening, but it's a little bit further off in the future. Or alarmed. So if we can have the lights back up, and the people in the Zoom room, could you please, as I read, can we get the whole gallery? Okay, let's see that. We're going to do this both for the Zoomers and for the roomers. Okay? So, all right. Barb, I've got the whole gallery up on my laptop. Okay, so we have Barb. Barb is going to do the math. I have a guess, and Pam has I guessed beforehand what your results are going to be. Do you have that? Yeah, you do. Okay, so we're going to see how close I am. All right, so you have to come look at my laptop because you're going to count raised hands. Okay, so all of you on the Zoom, you need to do either a hand raised with your camera or you need to do the reaction like you just did so that Barb can count you. She's going to figure the percentages of the people in this room and the people on camera together, right? So you got the total of everybody, all right? We got a mathematician PhD here, and I thank you very much for doing this because I cannot talk and do that at the same time. Okay, how many people here are dismissive? Dismissive, not happening. How many people here are doubtful? Raise your hand on the Zoom room if I've hit you yet. How many people here are disengaged? How many people here are cautious? How many people here are concerned? Thank you. How many people are alarmed? Okay. Barb's going to tell us what percentage are alarmed, what percentage are concerned, and what percentage are anything else.
Concerned and alarmed.
A minute. Oh, okay. All right, Pam. Okay, thank you. I mailed this to Pam ahead of class. This is an honest guess on my part. I guessed in OCAMIC in this course, there would be nobody dismissive. There would be nobody doubtful. and nobody disengaged. And I think so far I'm batting 100 or 300 or whatever, 1,000, whatever you say about baseball. Okay, is that right, Barb? Nobody was, right, okay. I guessed 25% of us are cautious. Let's give our calculator time to figure this out. 27% are cautious. I guessed 25. I guessed 50% were concerned.
55.5.
55.5 concerned, and I guess 25% were alarmed.
No, I'm sorry, they're concerned that we didn't have anybody until we got to concerned. Concerned, 27%, alarmed, 55.
Okay, so I guessed you guys wrong by a huge margin. That is very exciting to me. My purpose in teaching these climate classes is to take you from wherever you are to doing something that makes you happy to do, that you can be good at, and that you will feel part of a group that is making a difference. So thank you, Barb. Thank you. Thank you. So I underestimated OCAMIC, and I apologize. I do. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys, but now you're in trouble. All right, so let's take a look at some statistics and where you fit in the scheme of things. Oh, no, we've been there, okay. Come on. Yeah, thank you. Lights can come down. Let's see if I can figure out how to, there we go. Okay. Don't worry about the fact you can't read this. This is the research from the Yale program on climate change communication. I have printed the map of the United States by county. I have put an orange arrow next to Alachua County. The redder the box, the more percentage of people, adults, think global warming is happening. You can see that virtually everyone in the United States, 72% of people in the United States believe it is happening. The blue to orange graph, that's all the way off on the right side of, the right side of the slide, just shows you the degree to which they think redder is like really, really red. So in North Central Florida, Alachua kind of stands out for being pretty red. I don't mean politically, I mean, we think climate change is happening. So that 72% of Americans agree it's happening. Now, when you ask a series of questions, the percentages go down. This is what I want us to change. This is my mission. If you look at the percentage of adults who think global warming will hurt them personally, it goes down to 46%. Even Alachua County is now a lighter blue, so we are a little less likely to think of it than you would think we would. So we're going to take a look at what's going on. Why is that? Why do we think as Americans, unless of course you're in Texas or California, or look at Miami at the very bottom of Florida, those folks get it, that they're going to be harmed personally. Now, what's going on? So I would like some audience participation here. What keeps you from being a catalyst for climate conversations? Or what would keep anybody from talking about climate? And if you don't mind monitoring the chat, Pam, Zoom roomers, what keeps you or anyone from talking about climate change? Let's just get a couple of ideas. Great, thank you. Okay. So just yell it out. This is the audience participation part. I'm not a television set. So. Okay. Not getting the video. Okay. Right. We put you right because you don't need video right now. We're just asking this question, but I'm not sure why you can't. I'm in the dark. I heard an answer here, Mary. You didn't say? Oh, okay. Thank you.
From other people that you're talking with, disinterest.
Other people don't want to hear it. That's a great one. Let's get two more answers. Why not? Folks in the Zoom room, put it in the chat, please. Why don't we talk about it? What's the problem? It's not like sex where it's too personal or money where it's too personal, is it? Yeah, come on. Two more. Yes, thank you.
There's a sense that people are helpless to do anything about it.
A sense that why talk about it? There's nothing we can do. We are helpless. Thank you. That's a good one too. One more. Come on, Zoomers. Oh, money and developers. Great. That it's okay. So that's going to be Holly. Holly, why is money and developers a barrier to talking about it? Could you just put in the chat at a little bit elaborated, or even unmute your mic and go ahead and tell us?
Because they control what goes on with the announcements of what hopefully we can do about all these things.
Wow. Because the disinformation campaign is powerful and financed really well. Thank you, Holly. Okay, good. Thank you very much. We can go back to the slides. I'm assuming when I point it at the projector, it's going to do something. Ah, okay. So here's some more data. One of the things that did not come out of your conversation was tribalism, our sense of identity. So let me walk you through these dots. Across the left, up and down, vertical, we have climate views of Democrats, Independents, Republicans, the not party affiliates, and the colors are male or female. Blue is female, orange is male. I would have done pink and blue, but what the heck, they didn't ask me. And if you look at who is believing climate change will hurt them personally, 67% of Democrats, almost equal amounts male and female, believe that climate change will hurt them personally. If you flip down to the Republicans, only 17% of Republican men and only 25% of Republican women believe it will harm them personally. So what in God's name is going on there? It's tribal. It's a narrative that has politicized and weaponized the conversation about climate. But you know, and I know that 103-degree heat index doesn't care if you vote red or blue. It makes it too hot to be over 60 years old on blood pressure medicine to go outside for more than 10 minutes. It doesn't care. But that is a really big hurdle to talking about it. You don't want to make somebody angry. You don't know what to say. You feel it's hopeless. You feel helpless. So I want to play a 6-minute clip here of my heroine. This is Catherine Hayhoe. If you've taken my class before, she's familiar to you. She is a well-known climate scientist, and she is an evangelical Christian. A lot of evangelical Christians are of the political persuasion Republican, but she has a way that we can talk to each other.
We cannot hear anything being said.
Lights up just for a minute. So she threw a lot of concepts out. As you listened, did anything kind of strike you like, oh, or yeah, I already knew that, or I could do that? Did she reach through the screen? And Zoom folks, you know what you have got to do. Put it in chat. Pam will share with us. What did Catherine's exhortation do for you? Nothing.
She just confirmed beliefs that we have now.
Okay, so she confirmed that it is happening. You took away the science part of it. Thank you. Good. So you've got confirmation that it is real. Okay. How about the topic of this talk? Yeah, Nita?
Finding similar values, I think, is the most important in conversation.
I think that is probably her biggest takeaway, what you just said. You can't have a conversation if you're lecturing to someone. Nita and I had a conversation earlier about how difficult it is for us to do that about politics, because we happen to live on the same side of that bridge. But we need to cross it sometimes. So, yeah. Okay. If we've got people with, okay, Zoomers, are we still missing the whole video? That is weird. Okay, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send a link to the entire TED Talk to Pam to distribute to everybody. So you can watch the whole thing. It's 18 minutes long, and I just picked the first 6 minutes in the interest of time. I'm so sorry. Thank you for letting us know. Do we have any input on the chat on what Catherine's talk gave you? Well, right, you couldn't hear it. So yeah, you missed the evangelical lady. I love that. She is absolutely the evangelical lady, but not so much about being Christian. It's really about saving us. And in fact, that's the book she just wrote. It's called Saving Us. It's not saving planet Earth. Planet Earth is going to be here. It's saving us, our children, our grandchildren, our God willing great-grandchildren. Okay, let's go back to the slideshow. Thank you. Dim the lights. Thank you so much, Pam, for being good at this. Yeah, come on. There we go. I want to switch from how you do it, which we talked about, building a bridge, finding a common value, to why you should do it and not Catherine. You don't need a scientist to have these conversations. You need people who care and that you care for. And so this is the why it matters. It matters because you're not dead yet. Sometimes when I talk to a group of my peers or elders, I get the, I'm going to be dead. And that's kind of a way of saying it's too big a problem. I'm helpless. Larry, I'll repeat your question. Okay, so, all right, so Larry is saying we preach to the choir. However, this choir is not in the action. This choir, you're in the choir, but you're not singing. And my goal is to help you sing. Just like Nita said, okay, I've got a full plate, but I'm going to take on finding a place for this box of plastic. So yes, you're singing to the choir, but let's sing a little louder. Why? You are trusted by the people you talk to, and now you know something about this. Okay. Haven't figured out where it wants the signal to go. Here we go. Whoop. Okay. I want to show you a really cute clip. This one's only 5 minutes long that will help you with a bridging conversation if you don't have a bridging conversation. Okay. This is a social science organization. We're trying to see if the film is showing. Can I have the lights for a second? Okay, this is really important if you're going to take this on. If you're going to share anything you got today, I want to read it out loud. This was you heard what people think. They're like completely mixed up. Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, ozone layer, I don't know, plants, it'll kill us. They don't get it. After interviewing all those people, they read this paragraph, and then we're going to see what happened next. So let me read it to you. You already know this because you've been in this class, but here we go. Some carbon dioxide, or CO2, is needed for life processes. We can call this regular carbon dioxide. But carbon dioxide is not just something we breathe out and plants breathe in. It's also something that gets put in the air when we use any kind of coal, oil, or gas. When we burn coal to create electricity, we use oil for transportation or for manufacturing. These These things put a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere and into our oceans. We can call this rampant carbon dioxide because there's too much of it and it's getting out of control. Rampant carbon dioxide accumulates in the wrong places, like the oceans, and causes a number of problems in the climate and ecosystems. We will always need regular levels of carbon dioxide, but we need to start reducing rampant levels of carbon dioxide. So they read that paragraph. Now watch what happens. Lights off and resume. Oops, can you go back? Yep, hang on. See if I can help go back. There we go. Uh-oh, I hope it's not going to start at the beginning again. Yep, nope. Okay. Yeah, see if it will work for you, and let's move it forward to the, can we mouse switch about here? A little bit more. Here we go. Here's what they did after they had the speech. You've been living under a bushel basket. You don't know that she's the 15-year-old that absolutely started single-handedly the youth movement, Fridays for the Future. She quit school, cut school, and sat with a "you must take action on climate" in front of the Swedish parliament. And she mobilized millions of school children to do the same thing. So you can't tell me someone's too young or too old. And George Monbiot is also a climate activist on the other side of the age divide, and he also is a role model. So the folks are out there, and my intention is to show you what can be done. Somewhere in there is something you want to do. The maybe three things you want to see what calls to you are protect what's already there, restore what's been hurt, and send money to the organizations that you believe in, that you have some disposable resources to do. So what can be done at Okamic? Well, last week, you all came up with an extraordinary list of things Okamic residents could do. And you've got that. Thank you very much for producing that. And you all got that in an email of what you said you would do. So now all it takes is doing it. So we've got two things cooking as possibilities here. One is this plastics project, which frankly is pretty easy because all you have to do is centralize the collection, collect non-crinkly plastic, and drop it in the box. And Sarah will take care of taking it. I believe that she is not asking you to support her church's collection. I believe she is offering to support an Okamic bench if you want one. If you don't want one, excuse me, then you could just let her know that she can have your plastic and it'll speed what her church is doing. And if that's what you decide to do, could I be second in line with my synagogue, which has about 6 pounds of plastic so far? So we could use a lot of plastic. So that's one project. The other that came up was recycling, not recycling, but kitchen composting. And there are people here who are interested in it. And I am very happy to connect that interested group of people. When you shake your head, obviously you're in danger, right? Because I've got my laser eye on you. I believe that the city of Gainesville requires a commercial kitchen of the size that Okamic's is to do commercial composting. And it appears that you're not. So that's probably just a gentle organization. And I'd be happy to connect you with the city person in charge of that. So for a conversation. So with that, perhaps I have a volunteer to at least initiate a conversation with some of the people interested. Okay, so everybody's looking down at their phone or their lab. Okay, those are two things I think you could do here at OCAMIC.
Ellen, I think somebody iPad has a hand up.
Oh, okay. iPad, you want to unmute, and if your hand is still up? It may be from before because it's been there for a while. Yeah. Okay. Any questions from the Zoom room and any questions from the room?
Not a question, but a comment. I've read on more than one occasion that young people, regardless of where they are on the political spectrum, are very concerned about climate change. Red and blue both.
Yeah, young people are very concerned as a group, and I can't speak to the political differences between them. I don't know. But I do know that one of the issues that is of anxiety to young people today is whether or not to have children. That's a huge impact of a warming climate because they see what's happening. And until we keep fossil fuels in the ground and take carbon dioxide out of the air, business as usual is on a very bad trajectory. Okay, anything from the Zoomers? Okay, I thank you very much for being climate interested, and maybe come see me if you'd be willing to spearhead a conversation about composting. And thank you in the back for lots of plastic that's snuck in there. Turn around and look at what happened while we were talking. That's awesome. Okay, thank you. All right, we'll see you next week.